Broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hey everyone, it is Brian Kazier, joined by my friend and business partner, Sean Casey. We have another Wednesday marketing webinar for you today. And because we got a recent request, or more so a couple questions regarding how to rank videos and such, because on a previous week, we basically covered like a lot of the ranking essentials and stuff like that. There was a handful of you that basically asked if we could do a call geared towards the videos. And a lot of the stuff is kind of the same, but there's a handful of tricks that you have to watch out for. And on top of that, there's also a cool trick that you can do to essentially piggyback off of other videos on YouTube and such. So we thought we would basically cover all that on this call, plus show you the live, essentially, trick on what to do to basically piggyback off of other videos and such on YouTube. So this will be all about how to rank videos, then get basically the traffic and the results off of them as well. So we'll go through all that. Then we'll probably have some time for Q&A at the end. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask those. And then we'll also give some cash away at the end as well. So without further ado, we'll get the show on the road. And as always, these calls are every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern, which is right now, where we'll have a live training and or a Q&A call. If you're here or you're registered for this series, you'll get a reminder each week, so don't forget. But if you can't make one, we'll have the recordings in the members area within a day of any of the calls under the training tab on the left side navigation bar. So you click on the training, then you click on the Wednesday calls, and you'll see all the calls right there with the most recent ones at the very top. This call right here, you'll see either by the end of the day or probably by tomorrow morning. And of course, you can also search through those with a search field we have as well, so you can find basically topics of interest to you. And if you want a chance to win $100 live today, because every Wednesday we give $100 away, you have to make sure to join our free Facebook group right here. It's the Webfire Facebook group, which you can get to if you go to getwebfire.com/FB group. That will just forward you to the Facebook group page right there. And towards the end of this call, we'll give you some instructions on what to do to have a chance to win $100. But you have to be a free member of that group right there to have a chance to win. Now, let's move on to our training for this week, all about videos. So for the overview, first, I'll basically talk about how to rank videos that get traffic and results. Then I'll do a live demo, or essentially example, of what we call basically like the YouTube siphoning trick, where you can siphon traffic off of other YouTube videos, even ones that are not yours. And then we'll end with the Q&A, and we'll give some cash away too after that. So moving on how to rank videos. So there are a few main kinds of videos that can be really awesome for ranking and making money. One are videos that basically are answering questions. So you try to target people asking questions, and you try to target a video that basically answers those questions. The second way are reviews. So basically a video reviewing any kind of a product that hopefully you would obviously be an affiliate for or have some way of selling it to them. And the third way is just videos on popular or trendy topics. Like if there's basically a topic that's really, really trendy. Like right now in the U.S., there's a hurricane that might be a trendy topic. In Southeast Asia, I think there's a typhoon, so that could be a trendy topic. And it doesn't have to be like something bad. So that's just the first thing that came to mind. So any kind of popular or trending topic, you can make a video on to try to get a lot of traffic off of those, and we'll basically talk a bit more about all those in just a bit. So in all the cases, you'll want to do your keyword research in a similar manner to what we suggest for websites too. So similar to the previous call where we talked about how to rank a website, a lot of the stuff still applies to a video, but there's just a couple things that are a little bit different. So the first thing is you should search YouTube for preferred keywords and see how many exact matches there are, followed by close matches. And what I mean is if your keyword is, let's say, lose weight fast, you want to see how many results on the first page of YouTube contain somewhere in the title the exact phrase lose weight fast. Okay, so that exact phrase side by side. It doesn't have like it could say like how to lose weight fast or best ways to lose weight fast, but as long as it contains exactly lose weight fast somewhere in there, that would be an exact match. Whereas a close match would be like fast way to lose weight. Like, it's not an exact match to, lose weight fast, but it's pretty close. So you want to count the number of exact matches and then also look at the number of close ones. And if there's not a lot of exact matches, like let's say if 2 or less are exact, you have a pretty good chance of ranking on page 1 if you target that keyword in your title. And obviously the less matches and the less close matches there are, the more likely are to rank there. You then want to obviously target the keywords in your title and your description, much similar to a website. This is probably the most important part right here. Then, especially in more competitive areas, you can go the extra mile by leaving comments linking to your video or do a blog post on it. So anything else that can link to the video can help kind of give you a little extra authority, a little extra juice, and can help increase the chances of it ranking. Then, of course, you can also use Video Firestorm in WebFire to help with this if you want. So not only can you help create videos and such, you can also use it to optimize them for like the keyword and all that stuff as well right there. Now, of course, you can also use your own videos and such. It doesn't have to be one that you make from scratch, but you can still optimize the keywords and stuff with the Video Firestorm tool inside of WebFire. So now we'll move on to how to get basically traffic to the videos. And there's a few different ways that you can do that. So first, you'll want to make sure that you not only target keywords that you have a chance of ranking for on YouTube, but you should also see what your chances of ranking on Google itself are. So not only should you do the search I basically talked about on YouTube, you should do the search for the main keyword on Google as well and see how many exact match results show up there. If it's 2 or less exact matches, that means you have a very, very, very good chance of ranking for that term, within anywhere from like minutes to like a week or 2. You also want to make sure that your keyword appears to get traffic. Now, here's a few tricks to check that. First, there's the keyword tool, so you can use that to see like, hey, how many estimated searches does that appear to have on Google? If there's like next to nothing, that might be an indication that maybe people aren't searching that. Whereas if there's a lot, that'd be a good indication that, hey, this is probably a decent keyword. Now, keep in mind, you don't need to have keywords that have like tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of results or anything like that, because certainly there's lots of buyer type terms that might only have like a few hundred that can still be very, very good because they might be more likely to be a buyer. You can also use the predictive keyword search. So if you're on YouTube or on Google, if you start to type in a keyword, you'll probably notice that oftentimes tries to like finish your sentence or finish your search. And if you pause it, you'll see a bunch of other suggestions show up right there. And that could be like a cool list that you could use, do a little research to say, hey, are any of these other keywords maybe less competitive? Are there less keyword matches on the front page right there? And lastly, you can also just check other videos and their view count. So you can go to any niche or any topic you want and see how many views other videos on page 1 appear to get. If there's lots of them that are ranked at the very top and they only have like 50 views, that might tell you, unless they were just like a day old or so, but if they were on there for a decent amount of time, that might tell you that, hey, maybe this topic doesn't really get a lot of traffic, and you kind of have to use your best judgment on, if it's a buyer type term, is it worth it or not? But usually my rule of thumb is, even if it's like 100 guys a month for a buyer type term, that's pretty good, especially considering when you can get a lot of these videos and stuff made and ranked relatively easily. Also, keywords that are questions where you answer a specific problem can also be a great way to find potential prospects that would be interested in your topic. So any topic out there, or any niche out there, I should say, or any product that people are looking to buy, they probably have a ton of questions. Like, you know, if you're looking to buy an ATV, okay, you probably have a lot of questions like, you know, what's the right size? What size engine do I really need for what I want? You know, do I really need, or is, you know, 150 cc engine good if I don't do any polling? You know, there's a bunch of stuff that you might ask. And, you know, if you kind of research the kind of, you know, research the topic, see what maybe people are asking in forums and stuff like that on it, use the keyword tool to kind of see if there's any questions that people are basically asking. And if you have a video made specifically to answer a specific question, that can be a great way to get ranked quickly and easily, and a great way to kind of land a lot of those potential buyers where you basically answer their question and then maybe kind of shift them towards maybe an option that they should buy based upon your recommendation. Or like another, you know, example might be, you know, like, let's say the diamond niche, okay? Someone might have a question like, you know, is clarity really important in a diamond? Then obviously that's someone that's probably looking to buy a diamond, or like a diamond ring, where, you know, that's kind of question where if you help answer that, you know that, hey, they're probably looking to buy one. So maybe you can kind of, you know, gently push them in the right direction of what might be an awesome deal. Or you can give them some advice on, hey, you know, you don't necessarily have to have an excellent cut, but you could have a very good cut, save a bunch, and it looks almost just as good. Like whatever advice you want to basically give based upon your research, you can give that advice and kind of gently push them in the direction of where they can buy the best option out there. Likewise, keywords that are more likely to be from potential buyers can be a great way to focus your time on what brings in money. And again, this can be like reviews, or as we basically talked about, questions that people search before buying. Like if people are looking to buy, you know, let's say an LED TV, or let's just say a new TV. Questions that people might have, like I bought a new one like a year ago, and you know, I'm not like a big TV guy or anything like that, but when I was doing research on it, I saw there's like a bunch of different options and a bunch of different price ranges and stuff like that. And you know, I saw that, hey, there's the 4K LEDs, and then there's the OLEDs, and a whole bunch of things like that, where I didn't really know what the difference was or what the pros and cons were. So a lot of people might have a simple question like, what is the difference between an LED versus an OLED TV? Where if someone's doing that search, you know, most likely they're probably looking to buy one. And it can be a great way where you can do like a short video where you say, hey, and LED, especially 4K one, has, you know, great color, might have like faster latency type times, whereas like an OLED might have like super awesome color, but might be more prone to having, you know, other issues, or might be like have more latency issues, or, you know, might also be like, you know, a lot more expensive and not necessarily worth it in your, you know, opinion. So you can kind of like push them towards stuff by saying, hey, like if you use this to play mostly video games, you'll probably want this guy here. But if you use this mostly to watch high definition movies, you'll probably want this right here, or something along those lines right there. Or this is another option that might be the best if you do a little bit of both. Where again, you're specifically basically answering the question that they type in by basically addressing what an LED versus an OLED is, but then in the second half of the video, you're trying to like gear them towards essentially a buying decision on what would be right for them. Because you know, if they're looking for what the difference is, most likely they're also looking for you know, what they should buy. You also want to make sure that your titles are catchy and not just SEO friendly. Like, for instance, if let's say your keyword was lose weight fast, okay, obviously a title like lose weight fast would be keyword rich or basically SEO friendly, but it's not necessarily super catchy. I mean, it's not horrible, but it could be like lose weight fast or lose weight fast dash 5 easy tricks that take less than 5 to 10 minutes a day. So something like that. The other stuff doesn't really have a huge value from like the SEO side. But it sounds much more attractive and much more appealing than the other examples. And I'll do a live example in just a bit where we'll kind of go through and look through some of the titles and such. And on top of that, on a similar note, you also want to make sure that the start of the video is especially catchy and attention grabbing. It's kind of like if you've ever watched like a movie, especially like an action one. Usually it's not like they wait a long time to start the action. Usually there's like an intro scene that has like a lot of action to like set stuff up, and they grab your attention. In fact, the majority of movies usually have an intro that starts, pretty quick right there. And then if they want to go into like the background or slow it down, they do. But usually the start grabs attention. Same with like a lot of the better commercials out there. They're very good at trying to grab attention. Because if they don't, you have a lot of options. You can watch another video. You might think to yourself, oh, geez, I wanted to watch a video on how to lose weight fast, yet it starts with basically boring stuff like, eat less, exercise more. And they're like, this is super, super boring, and they click back. Even if later on you might get to like the good stuff that they're actually looking for, if you don't make it super well known that you have that, and if you don't grab their attention, force them to sit there and watch it, you're going to lose out on a lot of the traffic, and likewise you'll lose out on a lot of the rankings too. Because if people click on your video and immediately click back to another one, that tells YouTube and Google, for instance, that maybe your video shouldn't be ranked there because people don't seem to be liking it much. You also want to pay attention to trendy topics as well to get big bursts of traffic too. So if there's a topic that currently is trending, if you can somehow tie it into the niche that you're in. Now this won't obviously work in all cases, but let's say you sell security cameras or security systems or something along those lines, and let's say there's a high-profile kidnapping or a murder or something along those lines right there. Instead of just trying to rank for like security stuff or stuff like that, which you still should try for, but if you make a video to basically say, hey, how the situation of whatever kidnapping or whatever murder could be avoided, that grabs a lot of attention. People are searching for the trendy topic or the popular topic. They'll see, oh, this is a interesting article or an interesting video on how you could have avoided this. Or imagine on the hurricane, if you had a video on 5 things how you can avoid disaster, similar to what happened in South Carolina or wherever it might be. It's kind of taking advantage of the trendy topics of the keywords being searched to kind of piggyback off of a lot of the traffic and stuff there. So definitely make sure to spend a little time looking at the trendy topics and see what you can do to kind of have maybe a few kind of tie in to whatever niche you're in. And lastly, another great way to get traffic off of YouTube is through a YouTube essentially trick that I've been showing off for years here, but since people ask to have or an update or like a review on essentially the video stuff and how to rank those, I thought this would be a great time to again show a YouTube trick that we've showed in some prior calls before, and this is basically a great way to siphon traffic off of others. And essentially, in a nutshell, you take any YouTube video out there, doesn't have to be yours, you find one that is a combination of ranking well for the keywords you want and has gotten a lot of traffic. And then what you do, and I'll show you how, so don't feel too bad if you don't know what any of this means yet or how to do it. What you do is you see what keywords they're trying to rank for, or what keywords they have essentially in their keywords tags, and then you copy and paste most of those into your own keyword tags, and you have a good chance of showing up as a recommended video after someone watches that larger one. So you can basically piggyback off of the larger videos even if you don't rank yourself. And I'll show an example of what this means in a bit. So if you're a bit lost in that part, you won't be in just a minute or two once we show off the live demo part. So moving on from that, the other important then is not just, once you have the videos, once you rank, it's how do you make more money from those videos? And there's a few things that you can do right here. First, make sure that all of them have a good call to action at the end, especially if you want them to do something like basically check out a link or go to a website or whatever you want them to do right there. So make it super obvious what you want them to do or where you want them to go. Don't just assume that because you talk about a site that therefore they'll magically go to that site. People don't think like that. You have to specifically say for more information or to get a free whatever, or to do whatever, or to get the cheapest deal on whatever, go here. Like, you have to be super, super blunt. If it's a review, make sure that you follow a simple format of what it is, what the pros and cons are, a short summary, and what you think they should do with a call to action. So don't just say, hey, here's all the pros and cons of this and that, and leave it at that. You want to tell them specifically what you think they should do. Because it's kind of like, imagine if you asked me, like, hey, Brian, what is a good place to have pizza near you? Like, let's say you want to take some people out to pizza and you ask me. Realistically, you want me to say something along the lines of, well, the two best places out here are, Restaurant A and Restaurant B. Restaurant A has more of the thick crust, Chicago style. So if you like that, that's by far the best one. Whereas if you want more traditional, thin crust, this restaurant right here has the best one of that kind right there. That's what you want. Or it could even be, hey, this pizza place right here, Restaurant A has the best pizza all around. You want one of those two. Whereas, what a lot of people oftentimes do is that they say, hey, here's 10 pizza places, in this area. Here's the pros and cons of each one. And, imagine if you asked a friend what pizza place you think they should go to, and they told you 10 options with the pros and cons in each one. You'd probably sit there with a blank stare and say, so what the heck should I do? What's the best one? And you probably wouldn't take them up on their advice at that point. And it's a similar thing online. So people want to be told specifically what the best option is or the best option for them. So, in one case, like if they like the Chicago style pizza, they really like this place. Whereas if they want more of the traditional one, they really like this other place here. So that's probably the most you should go to in terms of giving them options. You don't want to give too many options or you'll kind of lose them, but like 2 or 3 at best. Or like in the case of the TV, it could be, hey, if you're a hardcore gamer and you care about the latency and not having a blur and stuff like that, this is the best one for the price here. If you don't care about games and you only care about movies, this one's a little bit less, but still is perfectly fine on a movie. Or if you want, the best of the best, but way overpriced, there's this right here. That's, another example of what you can do right there. Now, if it's a question that you're answering, so you're trying to rank for essentially a question, make sure that you make it short and precise, as well as give them additional info with a link for where to find more, where to get the best deal, and so forth. So you don't want to have long answers or long videos or anything like that in the majority of cases. If someone's looking for a question, usually they want a quick answer. They don't want a 20-minute long answer. And probably 98% of the cases, they want a simple short answer, which is good for you because that means you don't have to spend a lot of time doing the work or making the videos and so forth. And then you also want to not just answer the questions, but basically tell them where they can go to get the best deal on this, or some kind of other info like that with a link, so you can basically draw them somewhere. You also want links mentioned in the video, in the description, in the comments, and so forth. That can help a lot too. And again, you don't want to drag it out with lots of boring stuff off point, especially if you're looking to make money from a hot prospect, because again, people typically don't like to watch the really long stuff, and you should be short and on point with all the stuff you talk about there. You also can ask them to subscribe, like, share, and or comment, as that can help you get more traffic, subscribers, and make more all at the same time. Because not only does YouTube look at this stuff, especially for rankings and stuff too, but if you get a lot of subscribers to your videos, anytime you make a new video and post it up, they're far more likely to see that just offhand right there. But even without that extra benefit, if YouTube sees that, hey, you tend to get a lot of likes or comments or subscribers and stuff, they'll basically say, hey, well, this is probably a good video on this topic or this keyword. Maybe we should rank more of these higher and send even more traffic this way. So that's one thing. And it's not like this is super hard. At the end of the video, you can simply say, hey, if this is useful, please like or subscribe to my channel. Or hey, if you want a chance to win a free whatever, subscribe below, or leave a comment, or whatever it might be. So super easy stuff that you can do there. So what I'll do right now is I'll pause the screen to show off a live demo of the YouTube video trick that I was previously talking about right there. So we'll show off a couple things live right there, and then we'll go on to kind of a longer Q&A if you guys have any questions or anything like that. So we're just going to pause the screen for a second. All right, so right here we're in YouTube, and probably one of the more competitive markets is weight loss. So I'm showing an example off that, but this can work on almost anything, and we'll show another example on that. So what the trick is, you want to do a search on YouTube for whatever niche or keyword you want. So in this case, I did lose weight fast, and you'll see a bunch of results like this. You want to basically ignore the ads first for this right here. So it says ad, so that's how you can tell. So we can ignore the top one right here. And there's a few things that you have to basically do. So first, and I'll get to the YouTube trick to siphon traffic, but to further my point on if you have an easy or hard chance of ranking, when you do a keyword search like lose weight fast, you want to see how many of the videos outside of the ads contain the exact phrase lose weight fast. And then you want to count them, like right here, here's 1, it says lose weight fast. 2, lose weight fast. 3, that one does not. 4, right here, this does right here. 5, right here. 6. 7, 8, 9, 10, oh no, that doesn't say it. 10, 11, 12. So as you can see here, and there's more and more, you see there's a lot right off the bat right here that contain the exact phrase lose weight fast. So that tells you this is a very competitive keyword. You might want to look for maybe an easier one to rank for. So you can use the keyword tool inside of Webfire to get you an idea. You can also use the suggested keyword then right here inside of YouTube, where if you start to type in a keyword, it gives you some ideas, like maybe without exercise in 2 weeks, workout in 3 days, in 1 week, subliminal. So there's a bunch of while you sleep. So there's a bunch of other things that you can search to see, hey, it's maybe one more or less competitive. So we'll leave it at this one for right now. So that's how you'd see how competitive it is right there. So you might want, in this case, look for a different keyword if you want to rank your own video. But let's say that you want to siphon traffic off of existing videos. Well, in that case, what you do is when you do a search here, you want to do two things. One, see which of the videos rank towards the top, like the top few or so, and which ones seem to have the most views relevant to the time that they've been online. Like it says, this one's 6 months old with over 600,000 views. 2 months old with almost 200,000, about 6,000 views. This is just a week old. And yeah, so you can go through these. This one has 12 million views. It's 3 years old right there. So what you could do in a case like this is, let's just click on this guy right here. And if it plays an ad, you'll want to skip that ad.
Camtasia 2018
so I'll just let this skip right here.
This is
all right.
There's an app for everything.
All right. So we'll pause this right here, where this is the weight loss one that has over 12 million views. So obviously a lot of people are liking this and watching this. What you want to do is you want to see what keywords they're trying to rank for, what keywords they have in their keyword tag. And how you do that is a little different depending on what browser you're on. Currently, I'm in Chrome. And what you do is you go to View, then you go down to Developer, then you go to View Source. Now, on other browsers, it might be just View and then down to View Source. So you might not have Developer there. But it varies depending on the browser you're on. If you're not sure, if you don't see a View Source option, if you just do a Google search for how to view source on Safari or Explorer or whatever it might be, you can find out exactly how to get to view source. But in the case of Chrome, you just go to View, then you go to Developer, then View Source. And if you don't see View Source on the version you're on or whatever, just do a quick search on Google for how to view source code on whatever browser, and that will show you how. Then you click View Source, and you get a bunch of mumbo jumbo code. And don't be overwhelmed there, because all you have to do, you go to Edit, Find, and on most browsers it's the exact same. You go to Edit, Find, or in this case, Edit, Find, then you go to Find again. Then you want to type in literally the word keyword, not the keyword you're trying to rank for, but literally the word keyword, Keyword itself. And then you'll see that there's usually like 1 to 3 options right here. And basically all of them can tell you what the keywords are. But right here, the keywords that they're trying to, in this case, rank for are some of these ones right here. And they have an exceptionally kind of long list right here. They probably didn't do the best of jobs with that. But this gives you an idea of what they're trying to rank for. Like they're trying to rank for, this is probably the name of like, some popular names of people that maybe have talked about weight loss stuff. They have diet, weight loss, fitness, food, eat, workout. They have the Biggest Loser I saw there. So what you can do is you can copy and paste this into like a text file or Word file or whatever for right now. And then what you can do is you can go to the next one and say, hey, let's go to this one here, which has over 600,000 views in 6 months. You click on that.
Here are the 5
skip the ad
that you need to be eating to detox your body. Number 1, chlorella. Hey YouTube, Jim here. Welcome.
And then you do the same thing. Go to View, Developer, View Source. And then you go to Edit, Find again, type in keyword, It's usually just the first one. And then right here you see the keywords right next to it. And they have keywords like lose weight fast, top 10 lose weight, top 10 lose weight fast, how to lose weight. So they have more of the traditional keywords, it looks like right here. So you take that, you copy and paste that into the same text file, and you want to basically do that for 2 to 3 videos. And then what you do after that is when you create your video and when you submit it, whether it's through YouTube or through Webfire's video Firestorm, when you submit it, it will basically ask you for your keywords. What you want to do is with that huge list that you just made, don't copy and paste that entire list in, because that could be like quite large, but pick like maybe like 10 to 15 terms or so, or like I usually go for about 10 that are basically a combination of all those videos plus like 1 or 2 keywords of your own that you want to rank for. Like let's say in this case, obviously lose weight fast or something like that, you'd probably want if that was the keyword that you were going for. So you for sure have those. And then with the other videos that you just did this on, pick maybe a few of those from each one and put those in yours, and then you'd copy and paste that into the keyword tag box, which when you submit it through Webfire, there's a keyword tag text field that you just fill in right there. Or when you submit it through YouTube, it'll just say, it'll have a box for that as well. And when you submit that, YouTube basically sees that, hey, when someone watches a video, like when they watch this one right here, at the end of it, it will say what their recommended videos are. And oftentimes what they look for is they're trying to see if there's any similar videos out there very related to this one right here. So sometimes it might be some other videos from this guy on weight loss. Other times it might be other videos that they think are similar, and what they can do is they can look at the keywords that people are trying to rank for and stuff, and they say, hey, if both of these are on weight loss fast, or if both of these are on a military exercise method or stuff like that, if they both contain similar keywords, it can show up as a recommended video at the end of the popular one. So if there's one that's getting hundreds of thousands or millions of views, that's a lot of people that when those videos get more and more and more views in the future, you have more of a chance of having your video show up at the end of that. So that's a pretty cool trick right there that can work, again, really, really well. And it can work for like, anything that you want. And again, so kind of like the 2 steps to what you should do. And I'll do a new search in this, trying to think of a topic offhand. Let's do a tennis one. I'll maybe say how to hit a harder forehand in tennis. Okay. So this works even for this. So again, the two steps that you should do is, one, if you think you have a good chance of ranking yourself, you want to again do the search and see how many of the videos contain that exact phrase that you're trying to rank for. So in this case, this is a longer phrase, so there's probably not really any, or there might be like one or 2. So you'd have a good chance of ranking for that exact phrase right there. But if you changed it to how to hit, with a forehand with more power or stuff like that, you might get like 1 or 2 exact matches right there. But you'd have a much higher chance of ranking for a lot of these longer tail keywords, because again, if there's 2 or less exact matches towards the front here, like out of the top 10 or so that aren't ads, that means you have a very good chance of ranking there alone. So you make sure that those keywords for sure you not only have somewhere in your title, but also in the keyword tag when you submit the video itself. But on top of that, you can say, hey, I want to also show up on the back of some of these guys, like, hey, here's one that ranks at the very top, has 250,000 views in 5 years, or this guy right here. You just click that, and then you pause that, and then again, just go to view, developer, view source, edit, find, and type in keyword. And you see right here, they have a bunch of keywords that they're trying to rank for right there. And you copy and paste those down into like a Word doc or like a text file, and then you'd use some of those or the ones that make sense to you in your own to not only rank easily for this term that we just tried right here, but to have a good chance of showing up as a recommended video at the end of some of these guys as well right there. So with that, I'll just pause the screen right now. So if you guys have any questions on this stuff or any earlier stuff or any kind of marketing questions outside of that, feel free to ask those in the chat box now. As I just pause the screen, I'll switch on back to the PowerPoint in a second here. All right. All right, so Derek asked a question here. What about live videos and stuff versus like, you know, ones that aren't live? Like most, you know, would not be live right here. So the stuff I'm showing is geared towards like the not live ones, because those are ones that can last a longer time. Live ones can work well, but it depends on like, I find it a bit harder to do kind of long term, especially if you don't have an audience and stuff to start with. You can sometimes get ranked later on stuff there, but kind of the same rules and stuff can apply there, you know, on the topic and the title and all that right there. But I think this is probably the easier thing to start with right here. All right. All right. This is another great question right here. Rebecca asks, do the keywords have to have the bunny ears, or essentially the backslash, when you type them in to the keyword text box? And the answer is no, you don't want that. You actually would just want a comma. At least in the video Firestorm tool, you separate the keywords by a comma. So you wouldn't have any backslash or forward slash or anything like that there. The reason why there's just a backslash on the screen is that's just like a bunch of like code type stuff that you can largely ignore how they look there. You just want to take the keyword itself. And yes, David asked here, can the same trick be used with Google? And I think he means, well, actually, I'm not quite sure which one you're referring to. If you're referring to the title take matches, yes. If there's 2 or less sites on page 1 that have an exact match, you have a very good chance of ranking on page 1 in Google. As far as, so yeah, and we actually talked about that last week. But if you mean, can you siphon traffic off of another site? Google doesn't really do, like, if you go to a website, there's not like, hey, these are the recommended sites after this. So that doesn't really exist on the Google front. So that part where like on YouTube that has the recommended videos and stuff, that doesn't apply to the Google side. But we talked last week all about rankings on Google and stuff like that. So definitely watch that. But a lot of the tricks and rules are very similar. All right. All right, this person asks, what does Video Firestorm do? So Video Firestorm inside of WebFire does 2 things. One, it can help you make videos, like basically PowerPoint type slide or slide type videos and such, quickly and easily. It can also turn an article into a video. It can do voiceovers if you want and all that. But you can also submit videos through the tool as well and optimize them as you submit them. Okay, Ray asks here, he says he's an AC contractor that wants to generate leads. What should he do? So a few things. So some of it would be like outside this call here, and that's fine. But what you could basically do first and foremost, is make absolutely sure that you try to rank for local keywords, because you're an AC contractor. I assume, you know, you probably service a local area. So you want to make sure that for all the relevant terms, you have a good chance of ranking. So you want to make sure that those terms are in your title tags, that they're specific to the location that you're in, like, AC repairman, in Atlanta, Georgia, or Madison, Wisconsin, or some term like that. You can use the keyword tool to see what maybe keywords people are searching for, because most people, I'm guessing, might not use the phrase AC contractor. They might be like AC repair or AC repairman. They might use contractor, I'm not sure, but I'm thinking of what I would use. I would probably not be that term right there, but you can use the keyword tool to get an idea of what is the more popular term that maybe you should try to rank for first and foremost. Have those words somewhere in the title tag of your sites or in your videos, and then you could also make sure that you use the schema maker inside a Webfire to make sure that your site uses a schema, especially the local one, because that will give you an easier chance of ranking, and it will have an easier chance of having a lot more info, especially for you, because you're like a local business. So you can have a click to call, you can have your business hours, you can have all that right there. Then you also want to look into what additional terms could you maybe rank for. Like in a case like you can not only try to rank for like AC repair, in Madison, Wisconsin, you could also rank for a phrase like maybe 24-hour emergency AC repair. Because there might be people that search that phrase if it's at like an oddball hour or if it's on like a weekend. That's something that you can look into too. And usually that's like super easy to rank for terms like that don't get nearly as many searches, but when they do, there are people that are desperate that want to buy right now fast. You can also see like what kind of questions people might have kind of in that field, like maybe they're seeing like what size of AC unit they need, or if they need to repair it versus fix, and you can try to rank for a lot of questions that people might ask like that ahead of time to kind of establish yourself not only as an expert but to get all those rankings as well. The other thing that you can do outside of rankings and all that is you can use like stuff like the Tweet Lead Finder. And you can set up a search where you can find people in your local area. Like, let's say you want to stay within like 10 or 15 or 20 miles or whatever it might be. You can set up a local search where you can find guys that are maybe complaining about their AC breaking. Like, you could do a search term like AC broke or air conditioning broke, or all sorts of terms like that, and just do like a variety of those, and you'll get guys that will say probably depending upon where you are, it could be every day, it might be a few a week. If it's like a smaller area, you'll get guys complaining how their AC broke, and then you can reach out to them there and say, oh, that sucks that your AC broke. I saw that you mentioned this. There's a good chance it might just be this, or a good chance it could be that, where you kind of basically give them hope that, hey, maybe this isn't the end of the world. Maybe it might be a quick fix versus like an $8,000 unit. And when they and then when you also say that, hey, you're that you run an AC repair place and you'd be happy to take a look, that's a great way to kind of monitor leads and reach out to those leads before they even try to reach out to you or your competitors. And if you reach out and basically offer little advice free, you have way more credibility than their competitors, and naturally they're more inclined to go with you at that point. So that's just a few things that I would do right off the top of my head right there. All right, this Hannah asked, what does AC stand for? It stands for air conditioning. So he's like an air conditioning repairman. All right. Okay.
And she also asked a good question, Brian, which is it okay to use an abbreviations when you're optimizing? And I want to address that because this is a perfect question when it comes to something like AC. If there are acronyms and abbreviations that only the people who work in the industry would know, then if you're selling to normal human consumers, the answer would be you'd want to avoid them for the most part. But something like AC, HVAC, that are terms that a lot of people would use, especially AC, if people are going to use that in their search, then you'd want to have pages where you're optimizing for that and certainly making it clear that your site's about that. Now, Google is pretty smart at knowing that people mean air conditioning and AC because they've sat there with their millions of people and figured all this stuff out, but it doesn't hurt to help them by matching up exactly with search terms like that.
Yep. And Ray also asked here, what was the name of the lead tool again? That was the Tweet Lead Finder inside of Webfire. It's one of the many different lead tools we have inside there. All right. Martin asked here, what kind of video converts better? One with basically PowerPoint slides, or one that's more of an interview. It really depends on what it is and what you're trying to do. I mean, if it's like a video where let's say someone does a search for a question like, what is the difference between a 150cc engine in an ATV versus a 250cc engine in an ATV? I always find if you're short and very precise with exactly what the answer might be, oftentimes the slides tend to work well. So like you could have a slide saying with like a 150cc engine, it's good for one adult. And I don't know if this is true or not, so I'm essentially making up what the engines might be good for. But you might say, hey, this is good for one adult, can't really tow a lot of stuff, but tends to be about half the price of a 250. Whereas on the 250cc engine, you could say good for up to two adults, can haul like a medium-sized load of up to X amount of pounds, and tends to be about twice the cost of 150cc engine one. So something like that is short and sweet. It clearly answers the question, but then immediately after that, you want to say, so if you're looking for to have more than one adult, and or you're looking to haul some stuff, you'll definitely want the 250cc engine. And of those, this is the best one that we recommend at the best price right here. And you give like basically a link there. Whereas if you say, hey, if you're just looking to ride around for fun with just one person and you don't want to haul a bunch of stuff, a 150cc engine is fine. And this is the model that we feel is the best deal out of all of them for this right here. And here's a link for you to go there and check out that. So that's how you do that. But yeah, you can try interviews, you can try slides. I mean, there's nothing that's like this way always converts better. There's lots of split tests where one way in some circumstances can be better or not as good as like another. But the most important thing is to just rank or try to rank for those keywords and clearly provide value and answer the questions that you're trying to rank for, or give value on the topic that you're trying to rank for right there. If you do an interview, especially for like a question one, you want to make sure that right away you answer the question. You don't want it to be like a half-hour, video on an interview where you don't answer the question until like the very end. Whereas if it's like a popular person, people might just want to watch an interview on just that, like an interview with whatever famous business guy or anything like that. You can rank for that, and people might watch the entire thing. But if someone's just asking a question like, like what is the difference between this engine and that, you don't want to have an interview with an expert that is like a half-hour long if they just have a simple question. So just keep that in mind. But so there is no like short and easy answer as to which one's the best, because it depends on the case right there. Okay. All right. All right. What we'll do now is I'll just switch over to the PowerPoint, and I'll give you guys the link so you can get some cash and stuff. So to win some cash. All right. So obviously we're in the Q&A right now. I think we've answered the questions so far. But if you want a chance to win $100 live on this call, which will draw in a few minutes right here. You want to make sure to go to getwebfire.com/FB group. If you're not a member of that free group, just click join right now. Sharon will probably approve you within like a minute or so if you do so right now. And she has a post towards the very top, and you'll see that it's essentially dated from probably like an hour ago, if not less. And it'll say what you thought of today's call. And if you leave a comment within that post, so try not to post in another one, leave a comment within that post, the one that was just made about an hour ago, asking what you thought of today's call, or maybe a suggestion for a future call or anything like that. We'll pick a random winner through a live random website that picks a random number. We'll pick a random winner in about 2 minutes time, and then we'll wrap this up right there. So if you want a chance to win some cash, make sure that you go to getwebfire.com/FB group right now, and I'll just go over to that page right now. So, all right. All right, so this is the page right here. Again, just go to getwebfire.com/FB group. And you'll see right here a post from Sharon towards the top from 44 minutes ago asking what you thought of today's call. If you just click on the comment right here and leave a comment right there, we'll pick a random winner within about a minute or so right here. And of course, we always appreciate likes and shares and all that too. But you know, if you leave a comment, we'll pick a random winner in just about a minute's time. I'll see if there's any other questions that popped up in the meantime. Okay. Yeah, and the majority of the videos will have key words there. Occasionally, you might get one where like someone left it blank, but I find like 19 out of 20 times they'll have the keywords there. But as far as what ones you want to pick to basically copy some of the keywords from, you know, on YouTube, basically use like common sense to have the best combination of ranking and views. So if there's one that has like millions of views but is like number 3, whereas like the number 1 ranked one has like a fraction of that, you know, but is ranked 1, you know, maybe go with the one that has like millions of views but is still ranked high. So just keep that in mind right there. All right. And try, guys, to make sure that the comment is in the right place. If you see there's a few of you that left it outside, I'll count those ones this time, so it's fine. But if you leave a comment in the right place, that helps when we do the drawing and the counting. So with that, Sean, I think we answered all the questions, right?
Yes, we did.
So, okay. All right. I'll give you guys maybe 10 more seconds to leave a comment right here. Just click on the comment on the post from Sharon right here, posted less than an hour ago, and then we'll pick a winner. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'll refresh just in case. All right. All right. All right, here are the comments right here. I'm going to count the ones outside first, and there's some that posted in the wrong one. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8. All right, 8 outside plus 47. So 55 in total. Sean, what do you think the winner is? 55
22.
in total. I'm going to do a random one from 1 to 55. What did you guess?
22.
22, all right. We're going to click.
You don't even have to do the random. It's 22.
53. Okay.
Man, I can't believe I actually got it right one time
So
in 3 years, but what the heck.
All right, so 48 right here, 53 I said, so 48. So 48 is going to be, it's one of the people that were posted outside the main post too. So 48 right there, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53. So Gable, congratulations. Even though you posted in the wrong one by accident, you still got the lucky number. So if this is you or looks like you, congratulations, you are $100 richer, or you will be as soon as you post up your PayPal address in the chat box to Sharon. So again, congratulations to Gable for being this week's Wednesday Marketing Webinar winner. So just make sure to post up your PayPal email to Sharon and in the chat, and she'll get you paid shortly this afternoon. So again, thanks to the rest of you. We always appreciate all of the comments and stuff, all the likes and shares and all that right there. And of course, if there's any other questions that pop up later, just write support@webfire.com, or you can use the help desk inside of Webfire. Just log into the members area, click on support, and that's all fine right there. And with that, guys, again, I want to thank you for joining us on this call right here, and I look forward to seeing you again next week, because we have these calls again every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern time. So again, thanks to all you right there, and hope to see you next week again Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern time. Hope you guys have a great rest of the week. We'll see you later, and again, if you have any questions, just feel free to reach out to support@webfire.com. So thanks much, guys, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.